Did you know that an all-female army once terrified European colonizers? For centuries, history books have largely ignored the powerful women who shaped the destiny of Africa, women who led armies, defied empires, and inspired generations. Today, we unearth the stories of Africa's forgotten warrior queens. We begin in present-day Benin, in the kingdom of Dahomey. Here, from at least the 17th century, existed an elite all-female military corps known as the Agojie, sometimes called the Mino or Mino. These women were not simply bodyguards or ceremonial figures. They were a crucial operational military force, deployed in offensive campaigns. Dahomey's constant warfare, high male casualties, and a highly militarized society all contributed to the rise and sustainment of this unique fighting force. Imagine the shock of European observers, encountering regiments of highly trained women, wielding muskets and machetes with deadly precision. They were awestruck and terrified. They called them the Amazons, after the mythical female warriors of Greek legend, though that was not the name the women used themselves. The Dahomey women warriors were organized into specialized units, including riflewomen, archers, gunners, huntresses, and even reapers, each with their own distinct role in battle. Their training was notoriously brutal. It involved rigorous endurance exercises, intense discipline, and brutal close combat drills. It transformed them into fearless warriors. One legendary figure stands out, Sedonghombe. She is remembered as a commander of the Agojie under King Gizo, leading approximately 6,000 women against the Egba fortress of Abeokuta in 1851. But the Agojie faced their ultimate test against the French colonial forces in the Franco-Dahomeyan Wars of 1890 and 1892. Despite their bravery and skill, the kingdom fell, and the corps was disbanded. Our journey now takes us to the Asante Empire, in modern-day Ghana. Here, in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, lived the Asantewaa, the Queen Mother of Ejisu. In March 1900, she rose to lead the War of the Golden Stool, one of the most significant rebellions against British colonial rule in West Africa. The cause: the British governor's arrogant demand to sit upon the Golden Stool, the sacred symbol of Asante sovereignty. It was an act of cultural desecration. Enraged, Asantewaa rallied the Asante warriors, famously declaring, "If you, the men of Asante, will not go forward, then we, the women, will. I shall call upon my fellow women. We will fight the white men. We will fight till the last of us falls in the battlefield." She was not merely a symbolic figurehead. Asantewaa actively organized and led the armed resistance for about 3 months. The British were forced to deploy artillery and thousands of troops to suppress the uprising. Ultimately, Asantewaa and 15 of her advisors were exiled to the Seychelles, where she died in 1921. Her courage and defiance cemented her place as a symbol of anti-colonial resistance in Ghana and beyond. Now, we travel south to present-day Angola, to meet Queen Nzinga, also known as Nzinga. She reigned over the kingdoms of Nongo and Matamba in the 17th century. For 40 years, she fearlessly fought the Portuguese, resisting their attempts to control her land and enslave her people. Nzinga was a master of diplomacy, warfare, and statecraft. She skillfully leveraged the rivalry between European powers, forging alliances with the Dutch to challenge Portuguese dominance. Nzinga's kingdoms became a refuge for those fleeing Portuguese slavery. Her story is a testament to the power of resistance, resilience, and the unwavering determination to protect one's people and sovereignty. Let's go further back in time, to the Kingdom of Kush, in present-day Sudan. Around 40 BC to 10 BC, Queen Amanirenas ruled. She is one of the few African queens known to have directly confronted the Roman Empire, one of the most powerful empires in antiquity. In 27 BC, Amanirenas led Kushite forces in an attack on Roman Egypt, capturing Syene, modern-day Aswan, and Folai. The Kushite army pushed far beyond their borders, demonstrating their military strength and challenging Roman authority. After initial Kushite successes, the Romans counterattacked, but ultimately a peace treaty was negotiated, which favored Kush and lasted until the 3rd century AD. One tradition says that Amanirenas lost an eye in battle, a testament to her courage. This word demonstrates that African kingdoms were not passive victims of history, but active players on the world stage, capable of challenging even the greatest empires. Our next stop is Logo, in present-day Niger. In 1899, Sarraounia Mangou, a priestess and political leader of the Azna people, led the resistance against French colonial forces in the Battle of Logo. Facing overwhelming French military power, Sarraounia Mangou shifted to guerrilla warfare, harassing the French and refusing to submit. Sarraounia Mangou's story is a powerful reminder that African resistance to colonialism was widespread and diverse, involving not only kings and armies, but also spiritual leaders and ordinary people. Finally, we journey to Shona territories, present-day Zimbabwe, to meet Nzinga Muya. Born in 1862, Nzinga was a powerful spiritual leader and a key figure in the First Chimurenga, the uprising against British colonial rule led by Cecil Rhodes. Nzinga Muya's influence extended beyond the spiritual realm. She was a powerful political figure who inspired and mobilized people to resist British expansion. In 1898, Nzinga Muya was captured and executed by the British. Her last words, according to some accounts, were a prophecy of future resistance, solidifying her image as a martyr and a symbol of anti-colonial struggle in Zimbabwe. These women, the Agojie of Dahomey, Asantewaa, Queen Nzinga, Amanirenas, Sarraounia Mangou, and Nzinga Muya represent just a fraction of the many African women who defied expectations and shaped the course of history. They challenge lazy stereotypes about African women being absent from military and political power. They demonstrate that women were not outside of state power, but embedded within it, leading armies, commanding troops, advising kings, and organizing rebellions. Most importantly, these women are central to African anti-colonial history, resisting British, Portuguese, and French expansion. Why, then, have their stories been so often marginalized or erased from mainstream history? The answer lies in the biases and power dynamics that have shaped historical narratives for centuries. Colonial powers sought to portray Africans as weak and submissive, justifying their rule. Male-dominated historical scholarship often overlooked or minimized the contributions of women. Even today, unconscious biases can lead to the neglect of these vital stories. It is our responsibility to challenge these biases, to reclaim these narratives, and to celebrate the extraordinary legacies of Africa's forgotten warrior queens. By amplifying their voices, we can gain a deeper understanding of African history, challenge stereotypes, and inspire future generations. The stories of these women are not just about the past. They are about the present and the future. They remind us that courage, resilience, and the fight for justice are timeless values, embodied by these extraordinary African women.